Hello everybody. Do you know something that shocked me when I started reintroducing carbs after doing keto and carnivore diets for 10 years straight? I was very nervous that that would trigger my binge eating disorder or food addiction symptoms that I had worked so hard to put at bay. But actually, it got even better. 100% zero cravings. And now it's so much better because even if I don't get the amount of sleep that I need, or if I am under recovered, I have no more cravings. Whereas in the past, I needed to work a little extra hard to ensure that I wouldn't get cravings or binge on very stressful or very busy days or days that are just crazy. I'm gonna explain why in this video and how you can benefit from curing decades-long eating disordered or food addiction symptoms that you may have struggled with like I did ever since I was 12. Hi, I'm Dr. Sarah Zaldivar, and ironically, I was featured on the first ever documentary on the carnivore diet back when I was doing carnivore. I also lost and maintained over 35 pounds as I explain in this YouTube video. Definitely check out that video next because it ties in very beautifully with the topic at hand in this YouTube video. Also, I quit my nutrition professor job at the University of Miami and Miami-Dade College and the American College of Sports Medicine and so many other places so I could focus on coaching the thousands of clients that I have coached towards better health and fitness. So if you've been watching my most recent videos, you would have noticed that I've leaned out even more, put on even more muscle, sped up my metabolism, and pretty much every measure of health, fitness, productivity, income has gone up. And that's because carbs allowed me to finally make real progress in the gym. And when you increase your fitness level, you increase your baseline dopamine, serotonin, norepinephrine. It's basically the Adderall effect. It's basically you getting closer and closer to having a brain that runs on Adderall without the negative outcomes of Adderall. So over time, you actually get more and more and more powerful with your brain as if your brain naturally is on Adderall, but you don't get the downsides, which is the destruction of dopamine receptors, the way that anything external like cocaine or Adderall could do to you. So I definitely was not expecting the complete elimination of all and any even minor food addiction symptoms for months now since reintroducing carbs. So obviously I put my PhD glasses on and I went and I did the research, and this is why you don't have any cravings or food addiction when you reintroduce carbs. And by the way, I'm having 100-200 grams of carbs a day. So they are whole foods, they are sober carbs, but even if they weren't, like for example, even if I do have honey, I don't spiral, it doesn't trigger any additional binges because as I've increased my baseline dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine more and more, if you do have something that's considered high on the drug food scale, let's say very sweet things like honey, as your baseline goes up, dopamine, when you release it, when you eat honey, it doesn't really go up that much because it doesn't have much room to go because you're getting really high, right? And so it feels nice, sure, but it doesn't feel anything as compared to how I used to feel back in the day when I used to do sober meals like nothing but steak or ground beef or things like that. Back then, if I even had rice, it could trigger you into a binge. Or if you have, chocolate or anything like that, you just become very, very vulnerable to those things. And that's also another reason why I wanted to reintroduce carbs, because I wanted to create a super brain, a brain that can allow me to create companies, a brain that would allow me to increase my income, energy, productivity, all the things, and also obviously more and more happiness and more energy. So how is it possible that carbs completely cure any type of food addiction symptoms? It has to do with how powerful they are in promoting and increasing the production of dopamine and serotonin and norepinephrine, acetylcholine, and all of the important brain chemicals in our brain. So check out this table that shows you the acute dopamine spike when you're consuming keto or carnivore. You basically don't have any dopamine spike, maybe like 10%. When you're consuming high glycemic or sugary foods, that's a plus 50 to plus 100% increase in dopamine, and it lasts, by the way, for like 90 minutes to 2 hours. And then you can look at the healthy carb meal like fruit, tubers, and oats, and that increases your dopamine by plus 20 to plus 40%. So honey is closer to like 100% increase in dopamine, which is amazing, especially if you have a competition, if you're trying to win a race or trying to do some interview that's that's really important and you want to be on and you want to bring your A game, you want maximum dopamine at all times. So on top of this increase in dopamine after every meal that has carbs that can last to 2 hours, so basically pretty much all day long, you're pretty high on dopamine, you can also start to perform infinitely better. You will recover so much faster from your workouts, which increases your baseline dopamine. So now you have more D2 receptors. Also, it increases baseline serotonin and norepinephrine and acetylcholine. I mean, pretty much every important brain chemical that you need to win in life is going to be increased. Now, check out this table for serotonin. Baseline serotonin production actually drops on keto or carnivore. I mean, I shouldn't laugh because I know sometimes you have to go through that phase if you have to, reverse diabetes. I get it. It's fine. You pay the price, but know that you can, after that phase, you have really great things to look forward to. Now, when you do introduce carbs, you increase baseline serotonin production by 20 to 50% right after a meal. If you're having 3 or 4 meals a day, you're pretty high on serotonin all day long. And again, your baseline serotonin is also gonna increase as you train harder and harder and more easily, and you're gonna recover so much faster. So it would make sense why when people shut out the carbohydrates from their life, they really start to struggle unless they're one of those few people here and there that have a genetic mutation that make them just create insane levels of dopamine and serotonin, but they're very, very, very few and in between. I think my hubby is one of them, but even he will have carbs. So most of us, unfortunately, we actually have to work for it and we have to activate that system, that reward system in our brain if we don't have that gene. So I hope this was helpful. If you need help figuring out how to reintroduce whole foods, plant foods, how to reintroduce carbohydrates into your diet without reversing any kind of healing you got from insulin resistance healing or healing you got, you can actually do all those things and eat carbs and actually become even more robust and even healthier and have an even stronger gut lining and even stronger insulin sensitivity, because the carbs are going to allow you to perform so much better. And you're gonna be able to be fitter and stronger, and you can even outpace the rate of aging, and you can outpace the rate of all of the EMFs that we are being bombarded with, all those things that affect leaky gut and affect the blood-brain barrier. So if you want help doing that, check out my new coaching program. I just launched a new coaching program where you can see me for 12 Zoom calls. Every Zoom call is 30 minutes and it's only $300 right now if you use code YouTube in the next 48 hours. Check it out at drsarahzoliver.com/coaching, and make sure you stay up to date with all my research by signing up for my free newsletter at drsarahzoliver.com/newsletter. I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed this kind of content and you want me to create more similar content like this, let me know by giving this YouTube video a thumbs up, subscribing, and hitting that little notification bell icon so YouTube alerts you every time I post a new video. Drop a comment. I answer all of my comments, and share it with a friend or family member who might be struggling or who might still be terrified of carbohydrates, because yes, it might take a little extra knowledge, but reintroducing carbs is going to boost your health and brain function and your income way more than being afraid of food, which is fuel. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.